Welcome back. Today we're going to be going over Overland gear that I actually use and have tested. These are things that I use every day on the trail or when I'm out camping. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm not being paid to say anything good about them. This is going to be a real review over all these things on this table: fridges, propane tanks, stoves, all that different type of stuff. I know that I said the next video would be more of a camping off-road video, but I got sick this past week. I've had a fever for like the last 4 or 5 days. I wasn't able to get out. So camping video will be coming out real soon. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I got sick and I wasn't able to make it out there. Now I'm going to show you 8 different items, all the benefits of them, how they work, and how it can make your overlanding trip even better. Alright, we're going to start off with a 12-volt fridge right here. Let me just start off by saying it is completely worth the extra money to upgrade from a cooler to a fridge. Not having to worry about ice or soggy food or food poisoning, all of that. It is just so much better. I know that the fridge is more expensive, but I think it's completely worth it. This is the Iceco VL35 Pro S. It can open from both sides. That's one thing I like about the Iceco fridges, is that their lids can open on both directions. And you can take the whole lid off like that. Snap the back in. It's a single zone fridge. It can also be a freezer if you just set the temperature low enough. It works great. It doesn't consume a lot of power at all. And yeah, I think you should definitely get a fridge. The fridge is so much better. It is worth it. It's so nice having these things out on the trail. It's let me and my friends go on longer trips, go out for longer, because we don't have to stop for ice. We don't have to worry about our steak not being the right temperature and getting us all sick once we eat. So much nicer. Definitely look into getting yourself a fridge. This one isn't even too expensive either. Like, there's some cheap budget options out there. I know Set Power makes a pretty good fridge and it's relatively cheap. And I think they have like a 3-year warranty on their compressors. You can find fridges out there that aren't super expensive, and I think it's well worth the upgrade. Alright, so now that I talked about the fridge, now we gotta talk about how I power the fridge. Over here I use this battery pack right here. It's the EcoFlow River 2 Pro. I use it mostly to power the fridge and sometimes run a heated blanket if it's cold out where I'm camping. I'll run a heated blanket up into the tent. This thing has a good amount of power, and I ran a test with the fridge with it. It can power this fridge for up to 3 whole days. That's just straight, no breaks, no unplugged, no charging this during it. It can run this thing can run this fridge for 3 days straight, no issues. If you put like the heated blanket in, obviously a little less because the blanket's gonna use more power. But yeah, this thing is awesome. It has, to turn it on, you press down and hold this little button. And then it has 4 AC ports, a DC port, bunch of 2 USB ports, a USB-C port. It's super nice. I think it's 800 amp hours. It's perfect. It does everything that I need it to. It charges super fast. This thing can go from dead to 100% in like 70 minutes. I think it is 70 or 90 minutes, somewhere in between there. It's super fast to completely charge it. It's definitely changed camping for me, being able to have power out on the trails, to power fridges, other things, charger phones, air pumps for air mattresses, anything like that. It really helps and steps up your game on the trails and while you're camping. Alright, when you're camping, you're going to need chairs. Any Walmart camping chair will work. I decided to go with the front runner chairs just to save space in the trunk, the easeability to pack them away. They fit in this little carrying bag that I can just throw in the back. Super nice. Go ahead and open this up. They open up real easy. They pack up just like that. Super small. Take this Velcro off. Take this Velcro off. This folds out, up. Alright. I usually grab the handles, put it on the ground. Pull the legs up. Boom. Chair. Super easy to set up, super easy to take down. It's got cup holders, pockets, good backrest. packs away just like that, and then goes back in the bag. Zip it up, and you're good to go. This carries two, got two in here, super easy to use. Perfect. Alright, now we gotta move on to cooking. If you're wondering what I cook my food with, I use two camp stoves. First one is right here. This is the jet boiled, I think it's called the half gen. Super, super good. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but I think for what you get, it's worth it. You get super good flame control. Over here, the knob turns around and around again to get you. You can have super, super small flame or big. You get a lot of control with this stove. It comes with a frying pan on top that kind of acts as the lid. Then you take off these little bungee cords. Frying pan comes off, and then boom. It's a little one burner stove. Super nice. It lights on its own. You don't need to have like a lighter. It's got a striker right there. You can connect it to the 1 pound bottles or to a 5 pound bottle like I have here. Then you can also put these, like, you can connect a bunch of different jet boils together. They have an output link so that I could run like a hose from this to another jet boil system, and that would work too. Super nice, easy to use, packs away really, really, really small. And it's a great stove. The other stove that I use is my Camp Chef. It is this one right here, Camp Chef Everest 2X. It's got 2 burners on it. It's really, really, really dirty right now, so I don't think I'm gonna open it up and show you guys. But it's got 2 burners on it. It's like 20,000 BTU each burner. It's a super, super powerful stove. It does use a lot of propane, but it cooks food great. Just like this one has a bunch of flame control. Super easy, again on the pricey side a little bit, but I put a lot of effort into my cooking during camp, so I thought it was worth it to go and get the bigger stove. All right, next we're gonna talk about airing up and down. When you're on the trail, you end up doing that a lot. What I use is the Morflate. It's a 4-tire air up system with a digital gauge, all that. I basically just unroll it, go around to all the tires in the truck, put the hose on, connect it to the compressor, and it airs up all 4 tires at the same time. It usually takes, I have the ARB twin compressor, so it usually takes around like 5 minutes maybe max to air the tires up. Airing down is even quicker. It's super, super nice. You can only connect it to 2 tires if you want to air down 2, or all 4, you can do whatever. It equalizes them. It's super, super easy to use. Some people say they have issues with like rolling it back up and storing it, but I have no problem with it. It is a lot of like tubing and all of that, but for me it works. Super easy to use. Keep this in the truck at all times. So if I ever need to air down or up, have it. Now on how I power all of my stoves. You're gonna need some sort of fuel at camp to cook with, or you could just use the campfire if that's what you do. I use my stoves and I have a 5 pound propane tank right here. It's like, I got it off Amazon. It was like 80 bucks, I think, maybe even less than that. Got a Y splitting little connection on it so I can connect 2 different hoses. It has a gauge on it. Propane tank is actually empty right now, but we'll fill it back up. But yeah, 5-gallon propane tank that's mounts right into the bed of my truck, and I keep it in the mount. I have it so that I can connect the hoses to it while it's still mounted in the truck, turn it on, and then boom, connect. I got 2 propane hoses that I connect to here. They come off, connect to either of the stoves, and it works. This thing, it lasts a long time. It's so much better than those 1 pound bottles that you can't reuse. They run out super fast and it's just wasteful. You're throwing them away. They're taking up tons of space. This takes up not that much space and lasts forever. I can get through like a whole 2-week, I got through an entire 2-week trip off just 5 pounds of propane. And that's running these 2 stoves that use a ton of propane. Yeah, definitely look into getting one of these. Super, super useful on the trail. It just makes life so much easier. All right, there is 2 more things left. I'm gonna talk about this. This is just a propane fire pit. It's It's by Camp Chef, the same company that makes the stove that I use. It's not that big. It comes in a little carrying case like this. Pretty light, easy to carry. Open it up, show you guys. Just has the normal like lava rock in it, and these things, they're super nice for if you're somewhere where like there's a burn ban, you can't have a normal campfire on the ground or anything like that. Or so a lot of the national parks will have bans on burning, but they'll allow these propane fires that are not like touching the ground, they're up off the ground. They don't cause any fire hazard. So these are super nice to have if you still want to have that fire and you're in a place where there's a ban and you can't have a fire. Sometimes on the bigger trips, I'll bring a separate 20-pound tank to connect this to, but you can 100% just connect it to the 5-pound. It won't run it for very long because they use a lot of propane to, run, but if you want to bring an extra 20 and throw this on, it works perfect. We use this. We didn't go through the full 20-pound propane on the 14-day trip, but you could switch those out real easy at a grocery store or anywhere and keep going for the rest of your trip. Alright, and then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Garmin. This is the Garmin InReach Mini. It's just a little like satellite connection device. It connects to satellites when you're out on the trails or camping. You don't have any phone service. It does a ton of different things. It can track where you are, track your route that you're going. You can send text messages through the satellites and all of that. You can send updates to your friends, your family. It's super useful to have, and just kind of like a peace of mind thing, knowing that if you're stuck somewhere, you can always contact somebody for help or something. It has an SOS button on it, so if you are really in trouble and you need help like right away, you press that and it sends out a signal to the appropriate people, first responders, that you need help and they'll come and save you. It can do the weather. It can do like basic weather or more like premium weather. There's so many different things that it can do. It tells the time, location, all of that. Super nice. I think it's definitely worth having one. It's one of those things like you just buy it once and you'll have it forever. They're super rugged. They're protected from dropping. It's got all the rubber around it and all that. Stays charged for a super long amount of time. I think everybody should definitely have one of these. It's just something to keep you safe on the trail and knowing that you always have a backup, especially if you go out on your own a lot. It's definitely worth getting one of these. Alright, so that's about it for the top Overland gear. I use all of this stuff every time that I go camping. It all helps out a ton. Obviously, you don't need any of this to just go out and go camping, but if you're looking to beef it up, get some more efficiency, easier to set up, keep your food colder, cook your food better, have power at camp, all that, definitely look into all of these items and all that. If you have questions or want links, throw them down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer. But yeah, other than that, I think we're done here. The next video, hopefully be camping. I should be getting out real soon. Like I said, I was sick this past week, so I wasn't able to get out there and film a camping video or go camping at all. But I'm definitely looking to do that next. Please subscribe, like, comment, all of that. We'll see you guys in the next one.